Wishing everyone who has XRP a wonderful Monday. Thank you for joining us on the crypto channel. We are going to look at what is happening now and what we can expect as the week goes on. This is going to be a very busy week. This week is the meeting of the Federal Open Market Committee, FOMC, which I'm sure a lot of people have already forgotten about. Wednesday is something that a lot of people are keeping an eye on because, of course, if you don't see a Federal Open Market Committee meeting, I apologize. And if we don't see a rate go down during the FOMC meeting, if you agree with me that the market is going to go down, there are already signs that this might happen. Even though the value of your coins has gone up a lot, you should be aware that the market is busy getting ready for this meeting. Right now, the price of XRP is $212.00, which is almost 1% less than it was yesterday. Also, Bitcoin's market value has dropped by about 1% to $124.22 billion. And the 24-hour trading volume has hit about $2 billion. Go any further, please be aware that anything said on this channel should not be taken as financial advice. If you are thinking about investing in cryptocurrency, you should always do your own research and due diligence. As you know, I get a lot of comments. In fact, I wouldn't even say 24 hours have passed since I made the updates last night. So over the past few hours since our most recent update, a lot of comments have been coming in. These comments are on the XBAR update, Kai Casper, the XRP update, and a lot of people are talking about why the prices of XRP and a lot of other coins have gone down. As I said before, this is something you shouldn't ignore because people aren't getting ready. Because if you look at the previous FOMC meeting and really try to figure out what happened, you can see that the market went down before the meeting and during it. That's a pretty good summary of what's going on, but let's take a closer look at what's happening now. As you may know, the draft of the cryptocurrency market structure from the Congress can now see this for themselves. It's now open to the public. Obviously, a lot of very important things are happening, such as the things we've been talking about, like how there is more clarity in the digital asset area. This is a great example of this. You can see the first section, the condensed table of contents, and the many categories of acts that are included in this section. Clearly, a lot of really important things are happening in the cryptocurrency arena. Take a look at this. ROSUSD is now listed on a big centralized exchange, which is great news for the cryptocurrency. Of course, we are also seeing ROSUSD it has been listed on a number of these major exchanges all along. And the interest has been there. It's coming in because bigger companies want to buy stable coins, but it's also coming in for other reasons. Think about how things will go in the future. If you want to keep your coins' value, you should just keep them in your possession. On the other hand, you know that consumers want to see a compliance-approved stablecoin, which is where RLUSD comes in. You know that earlier we saw Gemini post this. When we build tools that make finance better, the future looks brighter. Obviously, you know that there was a big hint of RLUSD, and it has now been officially announced that RLUSD can be traded on Gemini. From now on, we're going to kind of go back to this goal from Zoom and give my personal thoughts on it. Today, Sell and Store made it possible to make deposits and withdrawals, which is a very big deal. Of course, take a look at this. Of course, Trump is going to make millions of dollars this month with 2 dinners that are all about cryptocurrencies. One of these meals will cost $1,500,000, 0 cents per plate. And the other one will happen on May 22nd. As you may already know, there are a lot of important events going on. To be honest, this is very interesting, and you'll be able to look at it at an event for Trump token holders on May 22nd. I'm not sure what will be talked about, like how they're going to distribute the supply that is being hoarded and the small groups of people who will be in charge of doing that. A lot of big things are happening, but we don't know any of them. Is it possible that the market will react positively as we have been expecting? Is it possible that we will see a meme coin season that is going to start up again? So know that the season for meme coins is slowly but surely picking up, even though you are seeing the supremacy at an all-time high. But what exactly we're going to talk about here, again, There has been a lot of speculation about that since the start of Trump's presidency, but we will see what happens. Are we going to hear about projects based in the U.S. that are exempt from the transfer of capital gains? Let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section below. But for now, you should be paying attention to the meeting of the Federal Open Market Committee. There is more to it than you think. Realize that the start of 2025 saw a big boost in the popularity of Ripple XRP and the cryptocurrency industry as a whole. Take a look at this report that Ripple uploaded. It's about the core January 20th, 25 XRP market. One of the most important parts is that the SEC and Ripple made a deal to stop the case and increase the use of XRP and RLUSD. Hidden Road was bought for an amazing $1,250,000,000 and 0 cents. Institutions are wanting more investment products based on XRP now that the US policy has changed, which means more clarity and more possibilities. Beginning with the second quarter, the report on the XRP market will be changing. This is part of our promise to being honest. We will keep sending out important news about Ripple and XRP through official channels like Ripple and Ripple XDev. We will also keep making our XRP holdings available to the public through the ripple.com website. Some important things to think about. According to Zoom, the next targets for XRP between $2.80 and $3.80 or $4.50 and $4.80. Once XRP breaks through these milestones, we will go back to the drawing board to come up with a new strategy. Now let's talk about what is really going on. Taking a closer look at the dominant here, you can see this for yourself. Since it's a new week, let's dig deeper in this situation and get a better sense of what's going on with the dominant. You can see that the dominance is making a comeback almost exactly where it left off. It's going up to 68 points. My apologies. 64.5. Please forgive me. What I'm trying to say is that if this can break out pretty much back to that 65% level, then there will be some resistance coming our way. Bitcoin, on the other hand, did have a small bounce, but it wasn't anything unusual.